Welcome back to the Bear Cave Watch Reviews. I'm your host, Papa Bear, and man, am I excited about today's video. I've been waiting a long time to do this one, so I'm really excited. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite watches in my collection. This is a watch that I was fortunate enough to find at a garage sale, believe it or not, and I picked it up for 50 cents. It has been with me for about 10 years, and I only recently got it operational. This is a vintage Hamilton Kelly Quartz in its gold plating, as you can see. Let me tell you, this watch I basically forgot about it. It sat in a watch box for several years until late last year. My son was looking through some of my watches and we found it. He asked me about it and I realized that I had completely forgotten about it. It just sat. So we took it out, went to our local jeweler, and when I first got it, I really wasn't even sure if it was going to work, but I said, hey, I don't know if the battery's bad. I don't know if the movement's bad. My jeweler took it back, cleaned it up. The battery was definitely dead. And he brought it back out and said, hey, it's working. And I was so excited. You know, we talked about maybe polishing it up, cleaning it up a little bit. But as you can see here, it's got some wear. And I think just the natural patina that it's gotten is really beautiful. So I said, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So today I'm bringing you the Hamilton Kelly Quartz. This is circa 1980s. I think, as I did some research, it's probably like 1982, 83. So you're talking about a pretty old watch here, and it's still ticking. So let's go over some of the basics. Case diameter, 36 millimeters. Case thickness is about 12 millimeters. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I did some research and that's what I found. Band is 20 millimeters. It is stainless steel case. Back and band. And there's the Hamilton sign. All stainless steel with the gold plating all on one side. And it does have a mineral crystal on it. But as you see, it does have a day and date complication there at the 3 o'clock. Quartz movement, which is really cool because it does have 7 jewels in there as well. That's something I found out as I was researching it. Now, try to get some close-ups here of this dial. The dial is like a light gray parchment almost. It's really a beautiful dial. And that's one of the things I love Hamilton vintage pieces, because even something from the 80s like this, there's just a lot of detail in there. And then you can see the applied indices raised. Just a really great looking watch. So I did get this at a garage sale for 50 cents, non-working. Like I said, it sat for several years and then finally got it back up and running. I don't wear it enough, not because I'm afraid to, just because I don't wear suit and tie to work every day. So sometimes I feel like I don't want to dress up too much with it. But you can see that classic 80s design. I could just imagine some mid-level manager or even upper manager wearing this in the 80s. And it just looks like a perfect piece for that time period. Let me put it on the wrist, and while I do this real quick, let me do our complimentary wrist shot of my Citizen day date on a Jubilee. This watch is also 20 years old, but enough about that. Let's put this watch on. Put this here, and I didn't size it really tight. I wanted it to be loose, kind of how it probably would have been worn in the 80s. And you can see it doesn't look too bad, doesn't look too big, doesn't look too small. Even with the wear right there, it still has that character that I really, really love, and just looks amazing to me. To me, that dial just shows so much right there. It's so pretty. Now, you can wear this pretty much with anything because, you know, and I guess maybe I should do that more often, is just start throwing it on every day. But one of the things that I really love about this watch is that it's by Hamilton. I love Hamilton pieces. Their vintage pieces are amazing to me. Even their modern pieces are great. But for me, it's all about the vintage with this watch. I will say this, I've never said this on any of my videos, but one of my Grail watches is a 1970-ish piece called the Fletcher Day Date. And it's nothing like this, but kind of like this. Let's put it that way. It's another beautiful vintage piece. This watch, the only thing that I can think of that I don't like about it is the lume. There are little bitty lume pips on the markers, but it's just not even there. And to be honest, it doesn't matter. That's the only thing that I can say I honestly don't care about. I love Hamilton and the rich history that it has. I love the fact that I picked this up for 50 cents. I've seen a couple of them on sale in various different sites, and I know that I got a great deal, obviously. So I honestly believe that it's a great looking watch piece. It's a brand that has so much history, and really, this watch brings me a lot of joy. Now, sadly, I don't get to see a lot of vintage Hamilton pieces at places like the Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Poshmark, even at pawn stores. Sometimes I don't really get to see those. So that's one of the things that's difficult about collecting watches, especially vintage pieces. You really got to do your research and make sure that it's something that you can get and it's working, and that you're not going to put so much more money into it than when you got it. So that's something to think about. But anyway, that is enough about that. I just want to, I'll put some pictures up at the end that I took of this watch. I don't think it's going to do it justice because, even as good as my camera is, it's just not enough to look at that beautiful dial, even with that gold look. Not a screw down crown, and unfortunately it doesn't have the H on it. So I deal with that, but it does have the H there. And that is my vintage Hamilton Kelly Quartz. It's a classic piece of horology that Lady Luck brought my way, and I'm going to put it on and wear it for the rest of the day because I can. Anyway, remember, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and I'm trying to grow the channel up and get some new content as much as possible. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.